Welcome to the Lakeshow podcast. It's a weekly deep dive into the biggest stories and topics surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by our Spectrum SportsNet co-host, Christopher McGee, our Laker insider, Mike Bresnahan. For those of you who are joining on television, welcome. This is our podcast. This is how we do it.
That's how we do it
So
every
we
week.
do weekly. Having said that, Brez, it's been a minute since we've seen you, my friend. Anything happen?
Yeah.
Anything going on?
So I was at this wedding last night, girlfriend's daughter, and about 9:15 phone started blowing up. And I'm still, I don't know about you, but I was absolutely shocked, like 100% shocked. I'm like, this can't be real. Like, wow, this is a crazy trade. And then you know what I did? Shams broke the story, allegedly, went right to his X feed. He already had another tweet saying, no, this is real. And that's when you realize that, it really was real. Crazy.
We had just left each other.
We did, and then
For a
you didn't
great
answer
win.
my call because you were talking to Richard and Channing. I think you were doing your
Our
road
podcast.
trip and post-game podcast, and I texted her and said, you better call me. I was actually driving down the street and was at a stop sign close by, and I'm on a Laker text chain, and Jerry Weinstein, the dubber, who's a director for the home games, just texted our group and said, this can't be true. So I looked down, I kind of laughed at first, and I went to the next stop sign, clicked it, and I saw that it was a real Shams tweet.
Right.
But then hacked was trending in the United States, and everyone was saying it was hacked. So I wrote back like, haha, hacked. And then another person jumped in that chain 5 minutes later and said, yeah, Trudeau confirmed. So that was
Crazy.
I think that's when I had to pull over.
Yeah. That's when I pulled over into the gas station as
I
well.
was like,
To talk to you.
there
So
it
this is
yeah.
how it all came about. Just over an hour after perhaps the Lakers' best win of the season, as we know, taking on the New York Knicks, Shams broke the news that no one could believe. With this, breaking, the Dallas Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. Sources tell ESPN, three-team deal that includes Utah. Now, this is what Geet is referencing. No one saw this coming so much that Shams had to repost saying first, yes, this is real. And then, of course, lists the trade yet again. That could have been a hack, too, but it was not. That's where it stopped. The Lakers today, as of Sunday, have confirmed the trade. GM Rob Pelinka saying this in a statement. Luka is a one-of-a-kind young global superstar who will lead this franchise for years to come. His killer instincts and commitment to winning championships will be a driving force for the team. We will be relentless in building a roster around the on-court vision Coach Redick has for this basketball team, and there is an unwavering commitment to that work to serve our loyal and dedicated fans. We are grateful for today and look forward to what is next. Obviously, many people wondering what someone like LeBron James had to say. He took to Instagram just a few minutes ago, actually, to express his thanks for his now former Laker teammate, Anthony Davis. He captioned it with, "Love you, my dog. Go crazy over there. Woe for life. See you soon." Before we move into this next chapter, truly, of Laker basketball, if you will, I do want to get your thoughts on what has been an unbelievable time with Anthony Davis since he put on a Laker uniform. Obviously, the contributions as well with Max Christie and what we have seen. So first and foremost, AD, now a Dallas Maverick, but his time here, he'll be a champion for life with the Lakers.
Yeah, jump in there, Brez. Oh, by the way, Max was in the trade too, which I think people have forgotten.
Yeah. I mean, two really good defensive players. And it's just so rare that you see two superstars move like this. I just said on a post-game show a few games earlier, the Lakers, they don't really do deadline trades. They had the Pau Gasol one, like Blockbuster deadline trades. Had Pau Gasol in 2008, and that's about it. I think this is like a triple Blockbuster. It's going to be sad to say goodbye to AD. I mean, what a great guy. Always loved interviewing him. Obviously, for my money, the best defensive center in the game. You can argue about that for sure. I love what he can do offensively as well. Just so much impact he had on this franchise. The year they got him, they won it all. I mean, even Pau couldn't pull that off when he was acquired by the Lakers. Took him to year 2 to win that championship. So he will be missed. A great person and a great two-way player. And Max Christie starting to, as James Worthy would say, trend up. But he had to go to make the salaries work.
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever an era ends that you're fond of, there's some sadness. I mean, that's the reality of sports, whether it's high school all the way through professional. So I'll focus on Luka later. You asked about AD and Max. I mean, for me, Listen, AD came here year one, and what I always remember was the joy we all had when they traded for him and the immediate impact he had in the first preseason game up in the Bay Area against the Warriors. He was acting like it was Game 7, and Laker fans were freaking out because they're like, this is the guy we got, and he wants to be here, and he cares, and he's going to lead us to a title, and he did. The only bummer for me is that he didn't get his parade.
Yeah.
Because he was absolutely phenomenal in the bubble. He was an MVP, in my opinion, that season. Should have won Defensive Player of the Year. Hit the huge shot against Denver to win that game in the Western Conference Finals. And AD, as you said, will always be a champion. He gave everything, I thought, to this franchise. I thought he got a bad rap at times nationally. I thought it was super unfair that he battled those 2 injuries post-bubble 2 years in a row, and they were brutal injuries, and it cost the Lakers big time. And national media jumped on that. And he showed over the last 2 years that he could be durable, and he showed what he could do when he is the main focal point in an offense. And what he does nightly defensively, and you saw it in the Olympics for Team USA, there's nobody better, in my opinion. The versatility is absolutely incredible. He can guard 1 through 5. His ability to make everyone around him better on that end doesn't get talked enough about, because so many times we just care about the offensive metrics. But he does it night in and night out, both ends of the floor. I also loved how accountable he was, always, with the media after losses. When he didn't have a good game, which was very rare, he was the one that would get piled on, okay? So I'm going to miss AD. I love him for that. I think he's going to thrive in Dallas. I'm happy that he's going to a place where he can win. Max Christie, I love. I always have since day one, when we had him on this podcast when he was a rookie. He's incredible for a 35th pick. What I don't think some Laker fans understood, and I think they're starting to, he's 21 years old.
Yeah.
21 years old with length, athleticism, and in the starting lineup, 16-8, shooting over 40% from 3, and was a huge part of where this team was going. He had his best game, I thought, like most impactful game in the Garden, his final game with the team. And I think, to me, that is truly incredible that he went out stopping Jalen Brunson, which no one does.
Yep.
Hitting threes and scoring like 16 points. And he was proud of himself. I heard from people that were there that he was who he always is when he found out. He was classy. He was hugs to everybody. He was smiles. And he's going to have a great Dallas doesn't know it, because I've had a ton of Mavs friends reach out, a ton of people that I know in that around that organization. And they're devastated. They don't realize what they're getting, because they have a good point. In their mind, they thought they would get a haul of 10 picks and crazy stuff. But Max, they're going to love once they can get through all the pain that goes with it. And AD is going to give you a shot every night.
Very well said by the both of you. I actually could not add anything. You just went on a moment, and it was fabulous. Well done. Okay, so obviously, as we know, you turn the page and you move on to what is next, which is Luka Doncic in that era here in LA. I do want to kind of put a bow on that conversation, transitioning to the new one. Our guy Andrew Miller just sent me this. This is the first time reigning all NBA players were traded for one another the following season in NBA history. Wow. When you talk about how big this moment is in like this trade. Exactly. So we're going to begin with this. Luka had this to say on X just moments ago, saying, "Grateful for this amazing opportunity. Basketball means everything to me, and no matter where I play the game, I'll do so with the same joy, passion, and goal to win championships." Which, if you're a Laker fan, that's exactly what you want to hear. Just to give you some perspective, at 25 years old, Luka has a resume which is hard to match. He will be 26 at the end of this month, but for his career, just under 29 a game. He's 5-time all-first-team NBAer, 5-time all-NBA, all-star 5 times. Again, 25 years old. I think just in context of it all first, how big of a trade was this?
I mean, it was interesting last night, just Patrick Mahomes, every NFL player tweeting, every athlete tweeting, Shams basically saying, like, in all of my career, I've never seen a trade like this. The magnitude kind of blew everyone away. I also think what's crazy is, if you believe certain reports, Mark Stein saying they first talked, meaning Nico Harrison, the GM of the Dallas Mavericks, and Rob Pelinka back on January 7th. You have got to give some of the biggest props of all time to those two guys and whomever else in those camps for the Lakers and Dallas that knew that this never, ever. And if you talk to executives around the league, people who cover the league, not one person knew about this.
Man, that was almost 4 weeks ago.
That's almost 4 weeks ago.
Crazy.
And you also have to understand the relationship those two have.
Yep.
Nico worked for Nike all those years, was Kobe's right hand. They were never not together. Rob was Kobe's agent. They have a relationship. When you do something this big, of this magnitude, and you're able to have real discussions like they had, and no one else, there's no leaks, that's a real relationship that they have. And that's how I think this deal got done.
Yeah, it's shocking in today's day and age. Usually there's a little bit of smoke. You know, just a little puff of smoke sometimes. This team wants to get rid of this guy.
Always.
And maybe this team's interested.
He's disgruntled.
Just a little hint. Yeah. He's Jimmy Butler. That one's pretty obvious. That's a fire already. That's
James
not
Harden,
smoke.
every time he got traded, right? You knew.
KD, you always knew when he was going to get dealt. I've never been this shocked in my 21 years around this team. And I like it. I covered the Laker game in Dallas about 3 weeks ago. And I remember thinking as I was walking around the concourse, there were only 2 jerseys you saw in that entire concourse. Dirk and Luka, and that was it. And it was probably a 2-to-1 ratio, Luka to Dirk. You walk around a Laker concourse, you'll see Magic, you'll see AD, you'll see LeBron, you'll see Kobe, you'll see our guy James, maybe some Kareem Abdul-Jabbar jerseys. The people of Dallas are obsessed with this guy. Mm-hmm. And I understand what you were saying earlier. They don't quite understand the good package they're getting back for him. What the Lakers are getting, as soon as I heard about the trade, I realized a couple things. The Lakers are all about star power. This goes all the way back to when Jerry Buss purchased the team in the early 70s, along with the LA Kings and some ranch in the Kern River Valley or something crazy like that, and the Fabulous Forum. He knew you have to get stars in Los Angeles. And AD is going to be 32 next month. Luka's 26 in a few weeks. And so you pick up 6 years right there, and Luka is a global phenomenon. As much as I love AD and will miss him, it would be hard to, say LeBron retires this year or next year, it would be hard to market around a 32, 33-year-old Anthony Davis. This is LeBron insurance, and it is all about star power to the highest degree. This is what the Lakers do, and they did it, and they shocked all of us. No doubt about it.
We're going to get to a relationship and a connection between Luka and LeBron in just a minute. We have a great soundbite to play. I will say, before I ask this next question, you mentioned Patrick Mahomes weighing in, which is just mind-blowing to me, right? And it wasn't just one tweet. It was another tweet. He had a couple.
NFL guys are huge NBA fans, so
right.
they're watching.
Exactly. And you've seen him courtside a lot in Dallas. I do encourage people to go read the Instagram message, the note to Dallas that Luka just put out. Mm-hmm. Because as you talk about how Dallas fans are just trying to wrap their head around it from that perspective, you can tell that the love was shared between Luka.
He didn't see it coming either.
He didn't see it coming either. But I did come across an interesting tweet this morning from Austin Rivers, not Reeves.
Saw that.
Where in his young life, he gave 3 of his top NBA news alerts. He had LeBron going to the Heat announcement. He had KD to the Warriors. And then he had this one. Where would you guys kind of rank this trade, this news, and just in terms of the magnitude, how big it is, maybe biggest of?
I think I didn't see that part. I saw another tweet by him. That's a crazy list.
It
is.
And
when you were saying it, I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. This one to me is right up there with those, but this was a trade. Like this happened in the middle of the season.
These weren't just decisions.
Yeah. LeBron to the Heat, LeBron back to the Cavs, LeBron to the Lakers. Those were decisions he made.
KD to the Warriors.
KD to the Warriors. That July 4th weekend was off the charts. They're going to the Hamptons to get him and all the stuff. Chris Paul, who was it? Blake, DeAndre Jordan, was it back to the Clippers? Was all flying to go see him. Yeah. There's been some amazing NBA moments, but this one in season, when no one saw it coming, to me ranks at the top in terms of trades in the NBA. The amount of star power that just switched hands. And to give the Lakers, I mean, I don't know how much time we have, Allie, probably not much, but to give the Lakers their props, like you trade for Kareem, you get Magic with the #1 pick, you then get Big Game. You trade Norm, you get Byron, you get Michael Thompson later for that deep run. You get Shaq in free agency. You trade the Vlade pick. You trade that pick for Vlade for Kobe. You get Robert Horry. You get Pau Gasol. You then get LeBron James. You trade for AD. This right there, this for the Lakers to be able to pull this off and find their next star for the next decade. How else are you going to do that? There's no other way they would have been able to do that. Zero chance.
Zero chance. So just how impressive of an offensive player, when you speak of that, is Luka Doncic. Well, only 2 players in NBA history, check this out, have a higher scoring average than him. His career scoring at 28.6 a game is only surpassed by Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain. Now, back in 2020, LeBron spoke with me and my Road Trippin' podcast crew, had an interesting story about one of his favorite players. Take a listen.
When Luka was going through his contract negotiations with Nike, and you saw him at one point, he was wearing Jordans. He started wearing the other brands.
Other brands, you don't even say.
Yeah, I don't say the other brands.
So good at that.
He was wearing the other brands on his feet during practices and Notion. I wanted to begin Team LeBron and have Luka as my first signing with Nike.
Oh, wow.
This is what I wanted. I don't believe that my guys at Nike was ready for that. And obviously they were not, because he ended up going to Jordan.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if Luka knows this, but he will know it now. I wanted Luka to be the first signee of Team LeBron when he was going through his situation. And it didn't happen. He's still under the same umbrella of Nike's with Jordan, but I wanted him to be, and that's how much I believed in him.
Yeah.
And it's going to, I feel like it's going to haunt me a little bit.
It's going to haunt you.
But I wanted him to be my guy. I wanted him to be my first guy because I just love what he stands for. I love everything about him, both on the court and off the court. He's just a great guy.
That was obviously back in 2020. The Lakers had just won their championship. And the funny moment there is, I think it's going to haunt me. I'm pretty sure he probably didn't see this coming, and it's not in the same realm at all. There are clips of Luka talking about going against LeBron for the first time, his idol, calling him his idol. Again, as we turn the chapter in the page, this is one that no matter what, you figure it out. What it looks like on the floor, the two of them, buckle up.
Yeah. I mean, look, they still need a center, I think. That Jackson Hayes, if he's going to be your guy down the road, you got 4 days from today. We're taping this on a Sunday to try to get Miles Turner or Vucevic if you want a little more offensive-minded. Robert Williams out there. You need defense, though. So what's Miles Turner going to cost you? Try to get him. Robert Williams, he's barely playing for Portland. He's a good shot blocker, rebound. Give a second rounder to bring him in the fold. And if you have to spend a first rounder for Vucevic, you have a really, really good offensive team. But you need some defense. And Miles Turner is probably the best shot blocking center out there. They got a little bit of work to do. This is a hell of a trade, but you gave up a lot of defense to get back a lot of offense. Can you make one more trade to get some more defense in here, especially in that rim protection area?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're working on right now, I would assume.
Yeah, right.
That's what they're trying to get. I mean, that's the word. That's what everyone thinks. That's what everyone believes. I guess the thought is, what are they dealing? What are they doing with that pick? What teams are going to try to, include a Rui or AR? I don't know, because we haven't heard from anybody yet. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, the key is they have to get a defensive-minded center that can block shots and play the vertical game.
Yeah, because, I mean, right now they're a game out of fourth.
Mm-hmm.
They put themselves in
the Lakers to just hit the ground. The Laker team was playing phenomenal basketball.
Yeah.
You just took 2 major pieces away. Just because Luka comes in, the fit defensively, everything, it's going to take some time. So it's what happens every time there's a big trade.
Yeah, remember when Kyrie landed in Dallas, took those guys a while to figure it out.
And then they
did
finals.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they missed playoffs their first year, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Missed the entire play-in tournament too that first year. But that next year,
you're right,
had a pretty good run once they figured each other out. Yeah. So this might take a minute, Thankfully, the All-Star break's coming up. You play a few games, take a week off, take a breath, and then you attack it.
And Brez, it wasn't until those trades last year for Dallas that got them to turn
exactly
around.
What'd they do? Picked up some defensive-minded centers.
Yeah.
Last thing on my mind before we have to take a quick break, JJ Redick, first-year head coach. What a task.
Wow. Welcome to LA.
Welcome to LA. That's a podcast you should go check out. JJ sitting down with Luka Doncic over the last year or two. I'm sure his wheels have been spinning as well.
Right. Amazing.
But again, like we know, he didn't come here for it to be easy. That's what JJ Redick has said.
He said he played in Philly. He played in Philly. He can do anything.
Right? Even coach the Lakers. Having said that, we're going to take a quick break. We have more on this trade, plus a round of bucket or brick on the other side. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Lake Show podcast. If you're enjoying the show, you can check out more original podcasts from our Spectrum News journalists on the Spectrum News app. Just head to the podcast section to listen to the latest episodes. You can download the Spectrum News app on the App Store or Google Play. In case you missed it, and if you're watching, I'm sure you didn't, a blockbuster trade has gone down. The Lakers have traded Anthony Davis and Max Christie in a 2029 first-rounder to Dallas and have received Luka Doncic, Markieff Morris, and Maxi Kleber. The league has reacted, and Kevin Durant had some opinions about it.
The players are held to a different standard of loyalty and commitment to a program. But the organizations don't get held to that same standard from the outside world, either whether from media members or fans. And we all should be held to that same standard. Like, it's a transactional game. There's a lot of money involved, a lot of business involved too. So we shouldn't be too shocked about trades, guys moving to different teams, coaches moving to different teams. It's just the nature of playing basketball and us making this much money involved too. So it's pretty wild times for the NBA, especially around trade deadline time. I know everybody's gonna be watching their phone the next week. We got 5 days. I know everybody's gonna be following the updates. So yeah, it's crazy.
We saw the Suns' reaction, including Kevin Durant, mid-game last night getting the news. We saw the Portland guys reacting.
The Portland guys was hilarious.
It was funny. If you're tuning in for the first time, we like to play this game called Bucket or Brick. So off of that sound from Kevin Durant, I ask you guys, bucket or brick? Bucket, you agree. Brick, you don't. Players are held to a higher standard than people in the front office.
Interesting. I'm going to brick that, and here's why. There are no Rob Pelinka posters in kids' bedrooms. There are no Nico from Dallas. There's no Nico bobblehead dolls. The players are bulletproof for the most part. It's the front office that takes the fall if a trade doesn't work out, or a coach, of course. So I think I'm answering your question the right way. Mm-hmm. I think players are a lot safer than the front office because no one likes to blame their heroes, the guys on their bedroom walls when you're a teenage kid, for any problems here. It's the front office that gets the brunt of it.
I'm only going to bucket it because to be different from you, and we're on TV now, because I agree with absolutely everything you just said. I don't have the GM's posters on my wall. Right. But I think I'll go with Kevin Durant in the fact that in terms of the fans and the world, they are held to a higher standard, and they get, if they don't do well, social media rips them and all that
stuff. That's true, too.
So I'll go with
crushed on social media.
Yeah. Well said, though, Bress.
Yeah. Next one, bucket or brick. The Luka Doncic AD trade won't be the only blockbuster deal at the deadline.
I'm gonna bucket that, Brez, because I just feel like more's coming. Now that the floodgates are open, you might as well just pour it on. Jimmy Butler's going somewhere.
Milwaukee was the
De'Aaron Fox, baby. Yeah. So you get a De'Aaron Fox trade in there.
At least from that perspective, we've heard something.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bucket this because I'm all for it now.
This is like Blockbuster, and then there's Family Video.
Yeah. Maybe everyone talks about the 2025 trade deadline for years to come.
Yes.
I hope so. I mean, I'm with you. Again, I'm the one who said, I think the big blockbuster already took place before the season.
I'm with you.
Karl Anthony Towns went to New York. I'm wrong. So this is my mea culpa. Bring it on. Let's flood the market with blockbuster trades the next few days.
You guys remember this after a playoff game last year? Bucket or brick, Michael Finley, who's the assistant GM, VP of player personnel with Dallas, taking Luka's beer was the last straw. Hold my beer, please.
I'm gonna brick it. I've watched that video 50 times today because I loved it. I loved it back then as well. It's awesome. You see Nico hug him. Okay, they hug, and this is the greatest OG. This is Finley going, "What's up, man?" Yeah. Such a smooth move. Give a hug, take his beer, and just start hoisting it. And Luka's like, So yeah.
Did Luka? Did he or did he not go into the locker room and just get another beer?
100%. Yeah.
Michael Finley, who I went to Wisconsin with and played Sega football with in the mid-'90s. No, this is a brick. This is absolutely not Findog's fault. But I mean, that was a special
That move
time
should be celebrated, Bress.
Absolutely.
By Michael Finley.
Absolutely. I'm still stunned, aren't you guys? It's a day later. It's like
shocking.
Unbelievable.
This is going to come to an end. With that said, we want to wish Anthony Davis and Max Christie nothing but the best moving forward. Again, Anthony Davis, a champion for life. We appreciate the both of you. But the new era of Laker basketball is here.
Star power. That's what this franchise is about. They got a new one.
Here we go. Buckle up.
Mid-20s.
Chris McGee, Mike Bresnahan, thanks to you all for listening to the Lake Show podcast. If you like what you hear, leave us a rating and a review on your favorite podcast app. We'll see you next time. Did you know there's a new way to watch your favorite team, and it's available exclusively to Spectrum customers this season? You can watch Lakers games on Spectrum SportsNet Plus with the NBA app on us when you add internet and at least one mobile line. This offer is a slam dunk total value of $194.99. To learn more, head to spectrum.com/getlakers.